was going to a farmer for to get my butter and milk.
Welcome to Blah Blah Show number 7. I'm Jon Bowne, your host, and this week we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to present in its entirety the documentary produced by my family, the Bownes, shot by Austin Widdowson, and edited by myself. It's called Quadratone. The name of the band is The Printers, and they are Ted Bowne on drums and guitar and vocals, Ben Bowne on bass and vocals, Tom Bowne on keyboards, and myself, Jon Bowne, on guitars and vocals. You can find the album on Spotify by searching The Printers Quadratones. You can also find the full documentary on YouTube at The Printers channel on YouTube.
I'm Tom Bowne. I play keyboards in The Printers, and I also happen to be the father of everybody else in The Printers.
Hi, my name is Ted Bowne. I am one of the 4 Bowne members of The Printers, and I am the youngest brother in the band, 32 years old. I live in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I'm really happy we finally came together to do this.
My name is Ben Bowne. I'm known as Benno, or the Little Brown One, or Leroy in the chain of command, and I play bass and sing in The Printers.
My name is Jabberwocky Bowne, Jon Jabberwocky Bowne, and I had to kill 20 men just to get here to where I am right now. And I don't mean through my life, I mean just an hour ago. I don't mess, I don't take
Well, the story of the band, it goes back.
apart. Is it acting hard to play the part? Is it time to realize we'll never know if we don't start to love? I'm waiting here patiently. Time comes, are you sailing away with me? My lover waited patiently, but I never heard back from the agency. Tell me what I gotta do to make it plain. Do say that I wanna make it life better. There's you and me, got a good thing going, not ashamed to say that I wanted to get to another frequency. Jump on top of this opportunity, just don't stop when we got this, you and me. Is it in the cars? Is it in the crystal balls? Is it in the way you make me wanna see it ripped apart? Is it acting hard to play the part? Is it time to realize we'll never know if we don't start?
Printers 2016, we got a little 8-song dealio for you. 3 songs written by Ted, Cheese Dog Bowne, and 2 songs written by Bebopper Rooney Bopper, Ben Bowne, and then 2 songs written by yours truly, that's me. So if you don't know what yours truly means, then I guess you're out of luck. Aren't you?
So, my dad is a keyboard player. My oldest brother is a guitar player. I have another brother who's a drummer, and then I have another brother, Ted, who plays everything. And when you're around those kind of people, they need a bass player. So, one Christmas, I woke up and there was a bass under the tree. Now, I wanted to play lead guitar like my hero, my brother Jon, but the family needed a bass player. And we started out in 12-bar blues. We went from there into funk, quickly into rock. And at the time that I was 12, 13, 14, we were skate rats running around Lexington, listening to everything from Minor Threat to Chili Peppers to Suicidal Tendencies on the harder edge, and every soul, funk, R&B album you could think of, because our dad has been playing in soul and funk and R&B bands, many of which have rehearsed in our basements through the ages, since he was 14 or 15.
Our family has always found one really important thing in music and through music, and that's joy. There's a certain thing that happens when you play music with your family that's different even from playing with good friends and other musicians that you enjoy playing with. It's still different from that because you understand more, I think, about why certain expressiveness is happening. John's guitar playing, for example, is an expression of things that have happened in his life that we're aware of that nobody else would be aware of. Ben's expressiveness with his voice, which is really startling when you hear him really let loose, is a culmination of his influences and his aspirations and who he's listened to.
Cold intuition got my heart on ice. Been too long, stop playing nice.
Ted is music from the top of his head to the end of his toe. Plays many instruments, and as we all know, is a working musician today. We regard music and making music together much the same as a family that gets together for an annual fishing trip, let's say, or a hunting trip. I'm sure there are similarities in the bond that occurs when you get father and sons together in a studio, and you have organized a list of songs that have been written by each of you, or at least you've contributed to the writing of them, in my case, and you actually begin to put them together and make them happen, and you take all these disparate pieces and you put them together into a finished song. And in this case, we finished 8 songs, and They are an expression, I think they're a pretty good expression of the musical influences of this family. There's a lot of variety in this album. It's kind of unusual for the variety, and it expresses the different influences that each of us, I think, brings to the table.
I feel your presence near me in the sunshine. The waves are calling out your name in the sunshine. The wind blows the shadow of your smile in the sunshine. Stay here with me for a while in the sunshine, sunshine.
My phone is too
Won't you lead the way today, sunshine? Won't you lead the way today? I feel your presence near me in the sunshine. The waves are calling out your name in the sunshine. The wind blows the shadow of your smile.
I am a professional touring musician. My band is called Pacifier, and we play a lot of different styles. Reggae rock is kind of our genre, but I've always been a real big fan of funk and jazz and soul, and that comes from growing up in this family and just being exposed to the influences that my dad and brothers have. I first started playing music when I was a toddler. I used to go around the house. We had instruments set up everywhere all the time, and I would bang on the drums. I would pick up the guitars and strum them. Piano lessons when I was 6, drums in 3rd grade, guitar in 5th grade, and just sort of learned bass on my own a couple years into high school and stuff, and just been playing music as much as possible with as many different musicians as possible all the time. If it wasn't for my family and their influences, I would not be touring the world as a musician. So to make an album with my family is absolutely a blessing, and I love it.
Well, we've been meeting up as a family for vacation at least every couple of years at a lake that we go to in upstate New York, one of the Finger Lakes, Keuka Lake. And one of the features of those vacations is that we all bring our instruments and we get together and we play music. And so some of these songs that we're playing, Take Hold Your Dreams, Cozumel, came from those experiences. Now we've decided that, as I said before, this is kind of like our version of a family fishing trip. I think this is just the first of many to come.
And I hear the swan dance holler. If I ain't living with what I got right, I'm living with what I got down. What I got down, Joe. What I got down, Joe. What I got down, moon kiss me now. And I hear the swan dance holler. If I ain't living with what I got right, I'm living with what I got now.
These guys are funny. These are some. I don't know where these guys get their sense of humor. Or maybe I do, but in any case, they are really funny, and they respond to each other in ways that are just hilarious.
She ain't no mystery to me. She ain't no mystery to me. She gonna act blind, so I help her. One thing about life always true. Ain't about what you say, it's about what you do. She gon' say, baby, we're just gon' get by. I tell her, open her mind and try. Sit down till we die. Gotta get up and try. Get up and try. She gon' say, baby, just gon' get by. I tell her, open her mind and try. Let go your knees, take hold your dreams, take hold your dreams. of practice random acts of baby child, baby child, baby child, I love you.
We've been trying to get together to do an album for 20 years, and this is the first time that we've been able to do that. We all live in different areas, and so we took a week and we went into the studio with Dwayne Lundy, who's an excellent recording artist as well as an engineer and a producer. And he was the perfect person to take on this project, and we really appreciate what he did for us, and we really enjoyed our time doing it together, and everything, all the pieces fell in together, and it's just great to be finally letting our music speak after all this time. We've been working towards this day.
I think the overall message of this entire thing is family and unity and the importance of spending time with the people you love and the people that you care about and the people that care about you.
One of the things that I am most pleased with in my sons is their heart. They have huge hearts. They're very caring, wonderful people, and they're responsible people. They're hard-working people. And I don't know that I could ask for any more than what I have in my sons. I'm extremely proud of them.
We're just a very musical family. We all come by it naturally. It's multi-generational. And it's really the backbone and the saving grace of our lives.
You can also find the full documentary on YouTube at the Printers channel on YouTube. Thanks for listening. This has been the Blah Blah Show number 7. You can find us on HC Universal Network at blahblahshow.com and dailynewscollective.com.